Okay, welcome. Today I wanted to talk about the 4 responses to trauma, and in particular we've got fight, flight, freeze and fawn, and I'd like to especially to talk a little bit about their relationship to boarding school syndrome. Okay, enjoy. So, as you can see, had a lot of snow these last few days, probably 6 to 8 inches, and yeah, I've just been writing my book about boarding school syndrome, and as I was doing some research, I've been reading Pete Walker's book about the c-PTSD, which is complex post-traumatic stress disorder, and just this sense of how it relates to boarding school syndrome. And as I was kind of been just writing a few kind of words about these, I was like, I'll just do a video about these 4 responses. So obviously they are fight, flight, freeze, and fawn. So some of us have heard of the first 2, certainly, definitely heard of the first 3, but a lot of us have not heard of the 4th one, fawn, and I feel there's probably others as well. And what you'll find is you might think, well, I have this freeze response or I have this flight response. It could be that you have several different responses, and what Pete Walker says in his book is, there's hybrids as well. So I'd just like to speak a little bit about this today. So the first one is to do with the fight. Now, I was reflecting in writing my book that I felt in boarding school that there weren't that many people who had the fight response. And I guess I was more thinking about it from a physical level, that certainly in my school fighting was, not approved of. I was thinking 7 years I was there, I rarely heard of a fight. Probably a couple of times I probably saw a couple of fights. It was like we didn't fight. So if there was a fight, it was more of an internal battle. So I think, what Pete Walker's saying is the fight response is when we want to control everything around us, so we're kind of fighting in order to what we feel is get people's love and attention. So I'd say the fight response, maybe that's kind of maybe the people who are the alphas, the bullies. They want to be in control. So that for me is the fight. So yeah, my sense is that I think we have aspects of that within boarding school syndrome. But I would suggest that, because it wasn't an external thing. If there was a fight, it was more internal with ourselves. So the second one is the flight. So that's the flee. And again, as I was reflecting about the flee, I was thinking on the physical level, boarding school is one of those places you can't flee. The people who did try and escape, like actually run away from school, they were brought back. So it was that sense you couldn't go anywhere, you couldn't get away. So with the flee, or taking flight, again, I almost felt on a physical level that wasn't something we were allowed to do on the physical. So my theory is that I feel we probably didn't do that either internally. So then kind of the third level for me of the trauma response is the freeze. Now I can relate to this quite a lot, and I feel that this is what a lot of us do in boarding school, is the freeze and the fawn. I feel that the freeze, we freeze our emotions. We're frozen. We can't leave. we don't have the ability to get away. And as I research this more, I'm sure this will change. I haven't read through his book, I've read bits of it. But my sense is with boarding school syndrome that really the last two are the ones which are we can we portray the most. So this idea with the freeze response is, I'm trying to think what else I've written about it. So it's like we get stuck fast in our emotions, and I say that's one of our key things to heal post boarding school is learning to unfreeze ourselves. And I feel, as I've mentioned in the my trauma healing model, the idea we move from stage 1, which I feel we're frozen, our emotions are frozen. This the stage I call disconnection, stage 1. Stage 2 is awakening, where our emotions start to awaken again, we connect to them. And I feel one of the ways is through physicality, through becoming more physical, and therefore as our body moves, they say that the body is the unconscious mind. So as body starts to move in different ways, we can therefore release those emotions. We can become unfrozen. So the fourth aspect is the fawn. Now, I would say that, a lot of ex-boarders, or certainly what I saw in my boarding school, a lot of people had the freeze, but also the fawn. And, what Pete Walker says, he says, fawn types seek safety by merging with the wishes, needs and demands of others. They act as if they unconsciously believe that the price of admission to any relationship is the forfeiture of all their needs, rights, preferences and boundaries. And I think that's really, powerful to really see that maybe, in boarding school, because we have no space, we now have no, we have a bed maybe, but we don't have really any personal space, is that we kind of do that with friendships, as we, the person who's maybe the strong or the alpha, we go and befriend them and we give up our needs because this will keep us safe. So I'd say, my sense is that a lot of us will go into that fawn at boarding school. And therefore when we leave, it's really hard for us to go, well, what do I like? Because we've kind of dismissed that. We've been, almost shamed for that. If we were in this clique and we were the fawn, and we know the fawn is we roll over and it's like, just let people walk over us. It's like we have to start putting those boundaries down. And certainly at the beginning it can be uncomfortable. Our family members might go, wait a minute, I'm used to walking over you. Or friends, we have to therefore stand up and find those inner resources to move into more benevolent qualities. So, so I feel I could be clearer on this. I just, I like to put my videos out once a week. I just feel this is quite important for us to just, when am I stepping into this, bringing mindfulness, awareness? When am I fighting? When am I freezing? When am I flight? When am I going into fawn? And when am I people pleaser? That's really, the fawn is the people pleaser. So my sense with the work I do with ex-boarders is that I see a lot of freeze and I see a lot of fawn. And I also do see, some of the others, the fight and the flight are there as well. And I definitely recommend getting his book, Pete Walker's c-PTSD. It's really good at just helping us to heal this aspect of ourselves. So thank you as always for your time. Any questions, please do let me know if this resonates or not. Okay, many blessings. Take care.